Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Vision Pros Live. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. So glad you're here. So glad you're in this conversation. I think these conversations are a lot of fun. I love learning, and I hope you get something out of it as well. Today on the show, we have Dusty Holcomb, and Dusty is a leader, a speaker. He's got his own podcast, and his specialty, unlocking the potential of leaders. And I love the conversation of leadership. So let's dive into it. Dusty, welcome.
Thank you, Fletcher. It's an absolute pleasure and delight to be here. I obviously love talking about leadership too, so this will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I always like to start off with a win, right? Because there's a lot of suffering going on in the world, a lot of discontent, a lot of uncertainty, and it's easy to get sucked into that. It's easy to begin to focus on what's not going well. So my first question for you is, what's a win for you, either professionally or personally?
Yeah, I love that question. In fact, I start every day with that question, but I start every week with some of the groups I lead with that exact same question. What's a win, personal or professional? My win, and it's an unsolicited video that one of our leadership cohort members sent me yesterday, just thanking me and thanking the group for the impact that we've had in his life. And like when somebody says, "Hey, man, this has changed my life," like everything else is gravy. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, that feels really good, right?
It does, man. How about you? What's your win?
Oh gosh, my win. I'm gonna use this for my win. Just before this call, I got back from hanging out with my dog at the park, at the lake, watching my dog swim, throwing the stick for him. That's one of my favorite things to do. Is throw the stick for the dog, watch him go in the water, come back out. And we live about 4 blocks from this glacier-fed lake. It's called
Oh,
Lake
wow.
Chelan. Yeah, it's a 50-mile long, beautiful crystal clear lake. And the win is my lifestyle allows for that. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. When you can recharge the batteries in a way that you're getting some sunshine, you're getting some furry love. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it, man. It doesn't take much to make me happy.
I think the dog's the real winner, though. He's got somebody giving him some exercise.
That's right. That's right. So, hey, we're talking about leadership and specifically unlocking the potential of leaders. Now, our audience is made up of leaders. Our audience is made up of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, startups, and well-established businesses as well. But so this is a topic that we're all familiar with,
Yeah.
and some more than others. We're at different stages in the game of leadership. But let's get clear about one thing first, okay? Everybody's a leader
Mm.
in some capacity. Would you agree with that?
100% agree. John Maxwell wrote that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And so when you have influence, you're a leader. And
Yeah.
that's what leadership it is. Has nothing to do with title. It has nothing to do with role. Has nothing to do with size of organization. It has everything to do with being a person of influence. So that's the way I think about leadership.
Thank you for saying that. And I love that you put those words to it. Leadership has nothing to do with title or role. And that may surprise some people.
Yeah.
But that's because they may think of leaders as have a very small box about leadership, right? So, Dusty, expound on that for me and help educate us. Where else are we leaders in our life?
Yeah, I like to think about it this way, right? If you have a person who is telling someone else to do, you are doing or amending your behavior because someone has directed you. A real leader has the opportunity to change how you behave based on how they show up. And so one of the
Mm,
things that I follow, one of the things I preach, one of the things I really study is in order to have impact and influence on others, you have to be able to lead yourself first. So when
yes.
you're becoming a person of influence for yourself, then there's a trickle out effect, a ripple effect that creates influence. And I don't care, like one of the most influential people that I've ever had the privilege to serve was the person who by title worked for me. It was my EA at a prior company for 17 years. But man, when she whispered the entire organization took notice. And like, I changed my behavior because of how she showed up. She was a leader.
Yeah. That's so cool. And I want to encourage people listening right now or watching this to answer this question. Where am I a leader? What area of life am I perceived as a leader? What area do I want to be perceived as a leader? Right. And what area of my life are others expecting me to be a leader? And really, when we break it down, kind of using what some of the stuff you said is we can reform that question or rephrase that question and say, where am I expected to influence the thinking of other people? Right? Where am I expected, or where can I help enroll people into a vision of what's possible? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that you went there, like into a vision of what's possible, because as I said a minute ago, like you have to lead yourself first. How you talk to others, how you think about influencing others, that same language, that same philosophy, that same approach applies to yourself. So like, I love the way you've reframed this. Hey, where am I supposed to lead others to a vision? Well, am I clear on that vision for myself and of myself? Where does my behavior need to change and amend in order to make that vision a reality? Because I can't cast a vision out for others if I haven't codified and defined it and I'm not following to it. Like I got to make sure I really have that. And so you've got to have that. If you don't, it's hard, right? You're just going through the motions, and that's not leadership.
Yeah. I mean, when we think of the leaders that we respect the most, at least for me, these are people who are walking the talk, right?
Yes.
They are not armchair philosophers. They are, the pavement where the rubber meets the road, right? They are walking the talk. They are doing the stuff themselves. And that's really what we're talking about is personal integrity, right?
It really is. And, they not only do they walk the talk, they know and recognize that they will have off days, and they invite someone to call them out when they're not behaving the way they have said they want to behave. And they'll be the first to admit it. Like, I know I've screwed up a lot in life, but the leaders that I respect, the leaders that we want to emulate and we want to be like, are the ones who have high personal integrity. Like, they show up the way they say they're going to. And when they fail, and we all do, they invite the friction, they invite the feedback, because they know that that's how they get better.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go to this next topic. You just prepped the conversation for. Invite the friction. Tell me more.
One of my favorite proverbs is iron sharpens iron. And you have to be intentional in how you curate that friction. Like, you ask for the friction. Like, we're not supposed to be comfortable. We're not supposed to be, going along and saying, I've arrived. We have to have someone who is challenging us, who is helping us be better. I think one of the great fallacies is about leadership is that the leader has all the answers. The leader doesn't. The leader has the opportunity to ask the questions that allow you to triangulate on the truth. And so when I think about the friction, I think about intentionally asking for someone to challenge my position. Based on what I know, this is what I believe. What am I missing? Where could I be wrong? How am I missing out on what a different perspective may bring to the table? And one of the things that we work with when working with leadership teams is we build cohorts where we intentionally create accountability. Human nature, they'll let themselves down first, right? I will choose to sleep in and miss the workout or whatever it is. But the minute I have committed to another person, the minute I have told someone else, this is who I am, this is what I believe, this is what you can expect, and give them permission to call me out when I do it, I won't let them down. Like, I had that accountability. And like, some of the fiercest conversations that I've ever been part of is when someone was following through and giving me the hard friction I needed.
I'm really enjoying this concept about invite the friction. I really appreciate this language. It's not language that I've used in the past, but this is a concept I'm really going to incorporate. It's because we all know what friction is, and friction is abrasive, right?
Yeah.
oh, it's just like, ouch. But I really invite you who are listening or watching this right now, man, really take this to heart. Take what Dusty's saying to heart. Invite the friction. Now, this is going to be a practice, because if you are not someone who is used to taking ownership and saying, oh, that was me, I messed up. Oh, that was me, I got that wrong. Or if you're not used to people saying you were wrong or pointing out your where you could have improved, that's going to be something that massively impedes your growth, accomplishment, and success in life. So I'm going to, again, listen to what he's saying, and I want to invite you to really assess yourself. Am I that person who invites the friction, or do I recoil? Do I deny? Do I defend? Do I divert? Do I avoid? Because I'll tell you what, and I'm going to use your term, when I decided to invite the friction into my life, whoa, things started to change radically. I'm the person in the room who now, oh, that was me, I'll raise my hand, I messed up. Like I used to before, I'd lie about it. No, that wasn't me. It must have been someone else. No, that was me. My mistake.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in there. I'm guessing, can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. There are times and seasons in our lives we are way more worried about what other people are going to think about us. So we lie, we don't raise the hand, whatever it is we do. But the minute we say, hey, I screwed up, I'm the one that, like, we're leading, we are setting the example, we own the consequences of our behavior. Like, invite the friction. Iron sharpens iron. The knife does not get sharper without friction. The car does not go faster without friction on the highway. Everything we do in growth in life has a friction, and there are things that work against us. We have to break through. And so there's a wonderful book, The War of Art, where he talks about pressing through the resistance.
Yes.
That's friction. Like the world does not conspire to give you a tailwind. The world conspires to give you a headwind, and it's through the perseverance that you get the strength to meet the next level. Like I like to think in metaphors, and one of the metaphors that we talk about a lot with leadership is you're just climbing a mountain, and when you get to the top, there's going to be another one, and you go down a little bit, and you go up again, and you're always going through this cycle, and there's always friction, and that's okay. It's how you grow. That's important. Yeah. And then when you do it for yourself and you invite it, man, I'm not saying it's easy. No, it's powerful.
It's uncomfortable. It's sometimes it's very disturbing, but yes, it's powerful. And I'm going to, again, I'm a big fan of language, of, words matter. And I like what you just said a few sentences ago. You said, because one of the things I always say is, like, life is always working out for my greatest evolution. Right. But I want to put it in the words you just said. Life is not something about a tailwind. Say that again, please.
Yeah, life does not conspire to give you tailwinds.
Yes.
If you headwinds, you must press through.
Yes, exactly. That is so beautiful. Because when we get that headwind, it doesn't feel like life is working out for me. It doesn't look like it, doesn't sound like it, may not taste like it, right? No. But it is, that's the opportunity. And so life, as it's conspiring for you, is actually maybe giving you a huge headwind so that you can expand.
Yeah, it really is. And so, like, mental model that I like to think about, the imagery, is if you're familiar with the art of judo. And judo is a Japanese grappling art, martial art. And the way a great judo fighter wins is he redirects energy. He redirects the energy away. And so when we think about life and these challenges that come up for us in our leadership, in our business growth, in whatever it is, instead of trying to absorb it and take the pain, take the hit, we find a way to redirect that energy and then seek what we learn from it. What I love so much about the judo metaphor is you can have a white belt get on the mat with a black belt, and the white belt can kick the black belt's tail because he happens to have studied a lot of arts. He happens to be very experienced. You bow when you get on, you go at it hard, You bow and you leave, and you have learned. Like, that's embracing the friction, the opportunity to learn. And so, like, what does this have to do with business? What does this have to do with leadership? It's a mental model. It's a mindset shift that you say, this is what's happened for me. I get to do this. Let me embrace this opportunity to be better and have higher degrees of impact and influence.
Yeah, well articulated. So good. Gosh, I hope you all are listening and laying this or paying attention to this good stuff he's laying down. I'm feeling inspired right now. So thank you for this time. Dusty, we're coming up towards the end of our conversation here, but I want to know, and for those listening, like, maybe I want to work with this guy. I want to find out more about this. How do they reach you? And before you say that, what is it that you can offer people that do want to work with you? Like, what's the package, or do you help companies? Do you help individuals? Enlighten us.
Yeah, principally, we work with high performance, high functioning leaders who are trying to break through that friction point, that transition period from where they are to where they're going. Like, there's three core pain points that leaders always feel. They feel isolated and alone. They feel like they're just stuck, like they just are they can't get the traction they want, or they feel like they're the bottleneck. Everything ends up on their desk. They just like, why is this all saddling me? So as we work with leaders, we help build a system, a leadership operating system that they can install in their system, in their business, in their life. We surround them with a cohort of like-minded leaders, and we enable them to break through. Like, it goes back to, when you work on yourself, when you lead yourself, you can lead a team and you can influence and impact an organization. So we start from the inside to work out. We really follow the mantra of, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. But when you do that, man, you can create real change. So that's what we do. We do leadership group and leadership impact accelerators, put together cohorts of 12 like-minded leaders, give them a system, the time and space to install it, and help each other be accountable to that. One of the things, if those pain points resonate, for folks, we have a wonderful quick assessment that you can take that'll just give you as a quiz, hey, which one of those pain points is choking me out the most right now? And it's just, leadershipgapassessment.com. You can just go there, leadershipgapassessment.com, and take that 9-question quiz, or you can just go to Arcus Group, ARCQUSgroup.com, and we have tons of resources there. So, like, whether you engage with us or not, our purpose and mission in life is to enable the success of others. And like, that's why I started this firm, is I want to impact the lives of 10 million leaders. And so, like, go find resources, go check us out, and lead better by leading yourself.
Right on. Well said. Thank you so much for your time today. I got my notebook here is full of notes and things you've said. So I love this. Things I haven't heard before. Invite the friction. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Iron sharpens iron. All this is gold. Thank you so much for your inspiration and contribution today.
You're welcome, Fletcher. It's great. I love talking about this stuff, and as you can tell, and it's always nice to be able to talk with someone who it resonates with. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you bet. All right. We'll have you back again for the long form. Ladies and gentlemen, Dusty Holcomb, thanks for being on Vision Pros. And now it's time for you to get out there, be a source of kindness, be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.